Hey kindergarten, today we have a lot of stuff to get off the supply table. You're going to get one messy paper so we don't get paint all over the table. You're going to get one white heart. You're going to get one paintbrush. And you're going to get one colored sheet of paper. Right? This colored sheet of paper is going to be your background. And you need to put your name on it first when you sit down. Mr. Calvert. And you're going to put your secret code, so K, and then whatever class you're in. So either KA, KB, or KC. I'm going to set this off to the side because I don't need it right away. You might want to consider putting it underneath your messy paper, or just set it off to the side. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to paint using tempera cakes. We are going to be painting tints and shades. We have never painted tints and shades before. And when you paint tints and shades, a tint is a color that has white mixed with it. So pink is an example of a tint because it is red and white. If you want to make a shade, it's going to get darker. A shade is a color mixed with black. We're going to be using tempera cakes today. Remember, that means that you need to get your paintbrush nice and wet. So you need to work with your water bowl. So I'm going to get my brush wet. I'm going to take a color, so maybe I want to use some black, and I'm going to get a little bit of black on my brush. Sometimes it doesn't look like you have any paint in your trays. You see the bottom here, but if I look on the side, I still have some black paint around the edge of it. Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit of black, and maybe I want to make a blue shade, so I'm going to rub that on the blue. Now I can paint. I'm going to get a tint of blue. You see, this one has a lot of black and not very much blue. I'm going to get some more water on my brush, and maybe I'll do a tint of red. So I'm going to get just a little bit of black and some red. And now I can paint. Ooh, that's a nice shade. Nice dark red. All right, but notice how I'm adding the black to the color. Or I'll add white to the color. I'm not adding my color to the black and the white. All right, so I'm not going red to black or red to white. I'm going black to red or white to red. This will help keep our tempera cakes a little bit cleaner. Maybe I want to make some pink, so I'm going to get some white. Once again, you might have to rub the edge of the tempera cake. You can see the difference, a nice pink right there. Get my brush wet. Remember, you have to do this every single time you get some paint. Getting some white, giving it a nice rub, and I'm going to grab some green. You need to paint your entire heart, filling it with tints and shades. That means every time you paint on that heart, there should be either white on your brush or black on your brush. Remember to use the toes of your brush. These are new brushes, remember. We want to take care of them and treat Mr. Brush the right way. That means dancing on your toes every time you paint. It doesn't mean scrubbing your paper, and it doesn't mean scrubbing the tempera cakes really hard. It means just lightly brushing it. Right? I'm just giving it a little swirl. I don't need to do the whole cake. Notice I'm not going all the way around the edge of the cake. I'm just doing a small spot. Got half my heart done. Now I got to do the other half. After you have your entire heart painted, you need to flip your heart over. That might seem kind of crazy because usually we don't want to do this part. But today, we're going to actually glue this down to our background. So you might end up getting some paint onto your messy paper. That's okay. I'm flipping it over, and I'm putting dots of glue all the way along the edge of that heart. So first I painted with tints and shades. Now I'm going to glue that heart to my background. I also want to put a few in the center of my heart as well. Notice that every time I glued, my glue bottle actually touched the paper. It just kind of bounces around on it. And I can glue this onto my colored sheet of paper, just like this. You might want to flip it over and give it a back rub. The very last thing you're going to do, so I painted, glued it on. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to go to my back counter. And at my back counter I have some white paint and some forks. You're going to just dip your fork into that paint and you're going to print that fork all the way along the edge. Remember that printing is kind of like stamping. We've done some printing this year already. I'm going to go all the way around the edge. I'm not going to do it all over the place though, just around the edge. Don't want to overdo it. When you have gotten this far, you are finished for today. So you can put your paintbrush in the dirty brush bin. You can put your artwork on top of your messy paper into the drying rack. Then you're reading, sketchbooking, or free drawing.